Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Tuesday, the 17th of September. What disappointing day. It was a losing day, easily a losing day on Monday. So we had the first selection came placed, and that was only just, to be fair. It was 9-1, came fifth, came from the clouds, hanging like anything into the middle of the track. Never looked like winning. I thought they'd gone off too quick, and I thought they'd set it up for it, but it wasn't good enough, and it's clearly a little bit quirky. We had a non-runner. The nap of the day, it was one of those where I napped it because I thought if it returned back to how it was running at the beginning of the season, it had got every chance. I thought, well, in my opinion, they were trying on it, and they did exactly what I thought they were going to, race prominently, but unfortunately, it was nowhere near good enough. And it was the other Easterby horse, although different relative, a relative, that actually won the race. And then I didn't see the other one. It was Amazement. I think it was called. No, Amaretto. I don't. Doesn't matter anyway. It didn't come anywhere. So let's get into Tuesday's racing. So I've gone to Redcar. So it's quite ironic really, because I'm not convinced there'll be a big draw bias, because those new subscribers who have joined recently won't be aware that, I don't know how well known it is, but there's a massive draw bias potential at Redcar. It doesn't look to me as though it's going to happen tomorrow, and it's quite ironic the selections that I've picked, considering I don't think there'll be a draw bias. I'm hoping there will be a draw bias. So what it is, the stalls are down the centre at Redcar. Normally, when the going is described as, for example, good to firm, good in places. The good to firm is normally near the far side rail. The good in places is normally down the middle of the track, or the near side of the middle of the track. Basically, if you're looking head on, you want to be on the right hand side of the track, so you want to be low numbers. However, it's good to firm, good in places. What we ideally needed was on Sunday we needed a downpour, an absolute drenching, and then we needed it to gradually dry out. And what happens is it dries out better towards the far side, which is low numbers. Well, there's not really been that rain. There was a little bit of a shower, I noticed. I think it was Sunday night, but it wasn't enough to change the going. And the tricky thing is, they've actually watered. So for all we know, the good ground could actually be near the far side rail. So I'm clutching at straws really, but I'm going to stick with what we normally go for, or what I normally go for, and the draw bias. And the funny thing is, all the selections are drawn one. So, yeah. So just when I wanted a downpour, because what normally happens is that we're fully aware of the draw bias, but unfortunately, there's never really been a race meeting where we've been able to punish it. There has been in the past, but not recently. So the bet is, so I've gone for an each way lucky 15, I've gone for each way singles, and I've gone for an each way accumulator, but it still comes to just a fiver. So what I've gone for is, it's a 10 pence each way lucky 15 that comes to £3. I've then gone for, instead of having 25 pence each way singles, I've had 20 pence each way singles, and then I've had a little bit of a top up with the remaining money, which is 40 pence. I've had a 20 pence each way fourfold that comes to a fiver. They aren't huge prices, but they're very interesting selections. So the first selection is Jumeirah Vision in the 140 at Redcar, paying 3 places instead of 2. I tipped this when it ran at Ripon, and it had a wide berth throughout, and it used too much speed, and it competed for the lead, and it folded towards the end. It ran a disappointing race last time. I don't know why. It was eased, which is never a good sign, but I think this horse, given the quickish ground, it's drawn 1. I'm thinking he could go straight over to the far side rail if it's preferable, bag the rail, and it could actually give itself or get an easy lead. It could dictate the pace, and if there is an advantage, it could be very difficult to pass this horse. It's only 4-1, but I think that's a stinking price anyway. But you watch, it'll probably be an even shorter price come race time. But yeah, the first selection is Jumeirah Vision. The second selection, I could have chose 2 in this race, and you know exactly what's going to happen because I'm going to tell you both of them. But the second selection is Rousing Encore. It's actually 9-1, but I've left the price in the 3:13 at Redcar, paying 4 places instead of 3. I do think Redcar has got a number of decent runners tomorrow, horses with chances, but this is one of them. This is Rousing Encore. It's ran once for her. This can also lead, and it's also drawn 1, like I mentioned before, and it could quite easily go to the far side and make all exactly the same as Jumeirah Vision. There are 2 in the race that I fancied. Obviously, Rousing Encore is one of them, and the other one was Gressington. Well, I do like the angle of it having first time blinkers, ran over further, but now being dropped in distance, because it's shown an awful lot of pace. Gressington has over further, only a furlong further. I think it's been 2 furlongs further, but it's generally a furlong further. First time blinkers, it could actually show a lot of pace and stay on. But I do like the look of Rousing Encore. It's shown, it hasn't shown. It's been rated a lot higher than what it is now. It does like the all-weather, so I'm hoping they're not prepping it for the all-weather. But I do think it's got a chance, and it's James Sullivan on board. The third selection is Zuffalo in the 3:43 at Redcar, paying 4 places instead of 3. So another selection that's drawn 1. I think it's got a decent chance. It's trained by Michael Dodds, I believe, and yeah, that's basically what it is. It's got a decent chance, drawn 1. Gives it every chance if, as I said, there is a draw price. And the final selection is Majeski Man in the 4:13 at Redcar, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse likes to race prominently, and once again, it's drawn 1. It's been knocking on the door quite a few times. It ran at Yarmouth and ran a decent race. It does tend to stay on, but it always seems to find 1 or 2 a bit too good. If it does go to the far side and it's favouring the far side, it could be difficult to pass. The last time we backed a Paul Midgley horse that ran well and won was when I tipped Run This Way, and we wanted it for, was it 3 out of 4, I think it was, and it actually beat, I can't remember what his other horses now. It was a Paul Midgley first and second, but we got the 7-1 that won the race, and I think it was about 13-8, the other Paul Midgley horse, but that's it. The other horse was called Enderman. That's it. Just remembered all of a sudden. And that's renowned for coming second all the time, but Run This Way won very comfortable that day. So yeah, irrelevant. Majestic Man in the 4:13 at Redcar, paying 4 places instead of 3. So if I'm going to put them in order of fancy, well, if there is going to be a draw bias, we're probably going to find out in the first race. I'm probably going to have to say that Jumeirah Vision, in my opinion, it should either run well and finish in the placings, hopefully win, or it could come last if there was something wrong with it. They wouldn't be running it, surely, if there was something wrong with it. I don't think there was. I don't think it wanted the good to soft ground. So I would say that Jumeirah Vision would be my strongest fancy. Majestic Man would be next best, and then I think the other 2, Rousing Encore and Zuffalo, are basically much of a muchness. Fancy both of them. Rousing Encore is 9-1 and Zuffalo is 11-2. So you could say that Zuffalo was a more fancied one, but Jumeirah Vision is definitely the one that I like the look of. But as I said, it didn't run very well last time, so it could be a first or a last. But Redcar has got 2 in that race, so she's one to keep an eye on. But I think if Jumeirah Vision does set its own fractions, it will be very hard to beat. So if you can do me a favour, if you give me a like, a subscribe, leave me a comment, or do whatever you want to do with the video. Clip it. I think you can clip it, can't you? I don't even know what that is. But anyway, the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.